Hello everyone and welcome to Board Game Revolution's live stream of Dungeons of Infinity. As you can see behind me, this game had launched on Kickstarter actually on Tuesday. It's already at 40% and looking for help for a little bit more. First off, I'm going to say this game launched last year and has vastly improved since then with the artwork, the game design, and just everything all around. And I'm happy, to show you guys how the game is played. So what I'm going to pull up right now is the actual game for you set up. So we have the game fully set up right here in front of you, in front of the board. To give you a heads up of how the game is started is you basically first get your starting tile, which it actually says starter tile right there. You put it in the center of the table, pick your hero, and we'll go over the hero soon. After you pick your hero, you're going to go to the room content chart and you're going to select one of these rooms to determine what is in each room. And they're right here. We'll put it up in detail for you. So you have one of these charts that you can select, and you can either select it on standard mode or on hard mode. So you can do either one. Jack, you should be seeing things right now. Hopefully, I hope you are. All right, continuing on. So once you select your starting tile, and that's what I'm going to select right here, is this starting tile right here. So now this determines whenever I draw a new tile, what's going to be inside that tile. If it's going to be treasure, if it's going to be mist, if it's going to be a body, or if it's going to be debris. So we're going to put that right next to the deck. And we also have shuffled and put out items that are inside the market. Once the items are inside the market, you have, you shuffle up your rewards, your enemies, your bosses, your dungeon bosses. You have your risk cards. This correlates to what comes inside each room. And then you have your threat meter down here. So this is the improvement that he made for the game, is this threat meter, so the boss doesn't come out as quick as possible. There's actually a time limit now of when he's going to start coming out. And there's ways that it advances. I'm going to show you guys again up in detail. So if you see the bottom here, you'll see anytime you discover a new room, it advances up one. Anytime you run, anytime you run, so if you're escaping something, it moves up another one, and anytime you're in combat, it moves up two. So you'll do that at the end of every round. So once you've used all your AP, and that's the type of game this is AP based, so action points. After you use it, you'll then tally up what you all moved and then move this up. Once it hits the player requirement, so let's say for one hero right now it's 12, you'll remove this and start drawing from the boss events. Now this is what leads to the bosses coming out. So how a boss events work is when a event is drawn, if that tile is played, the boss appears. If not, nothing happens. We'll go into boss movement once we get a boss out. Next, we'll go now into, so this is general setup right now. As we have it here, we'll get into our, let me go to the detail cam. Our character. So we have our character here. Again, this is all prototype. Art right now, art and pieces right now. When the full game comes out, this will actually be a thick tile with movable sliders. So when you start out, you're going to put your cubes on 0, on the yellow for 1, and then on the yellow for your health. So this is your starting point when it comes to your. Hold on, let me take something off because I see there's an echo. There we go. All right, echo should be gone. Right, Nathaniel, this is not the updated art that is on the Kickstarter right now. This is all prototype before he had completed art. So as you can see here, this is still stuff that was in the works. So your character, what you have is when you're in combat, you have your hit chance, which is you have to roll this number or lower to hit. Your power, which is basically how you do damage. your defense, how you defend against damage, and then your AP. So your AP is your action points. For the warrior, it is 3. Now noise is a interesting factor in this game. How noise works is the noisier you are when you're playing a game, the boss comes to that noisiest player, and you can actually affect noise, whether it is we'll go back to this. So let's say we have a few dungeon tiles out here. I'm just going to place them. I'm not going to place them how they should be, but just to show you. So let's say a boss is out. We got a boss, and here, we'll put this way. Again, this is just set up just to show you guys something. So let's say the noisiest character is the warrior right now. Well, he can do an action which is called shout, which will put a noise marker here, and then he can move away. So instead of the boss during his turn moving towards the warrior at its shortest length, it's going to move to the loudest point, which is where the shout happens. So that's how noise works in this game. It's actually on how bosses are going to move. So it's a really interesting feature and mechanic to this game. So you're always getting used to how this is working. I mean, you know, how you want to misdirect the boss so it saves you more time. Because these bosses right here, they are a pain in the butt. I would say other words, but we're doing a PG live stream right now. But they're a pain. And you cannot defeat a dungeon boss, essentially at the beginning of a game, because they're just way overpowered. So you have to figure out ways to manipulate them and how to best get around them. Alright, so we got that set. Going back to the character. Alright, so we go back to the character. A few more things. So you also have a carry limit. You can carry up to your power plus 1. So the warrior here can carry up to 6 items, and we'll go over items once we get to the start of the game. And you have, this is the type of armor, weapons, and feet you can carry. All right, Nathaniel, I'm just going over your comment. The biggest thing, Nathaniel, you're right. Most of it's all the same except for the threat. The threat meter wasn't there last year. All right, so now let's go into the start of the game because you were actually basically ready. The only other thing I want to point out is the action cards. So the action cards or ability cards here have a level to them. So you'll see this one is a level 1, so you can start using it from the beginning. This is a level 3. So you can't use this ability until you hit that level. So we're going to pull out all the level 2, 3, 4, and 5 abilities, put them off to the side, and these are our abilities that we start off with. And I'll bring this down a little bit. So the way abilities work, and this is again another interesting feature. This is similar to Conan. If any of you have played Conan before, you can actually, if you don't have enough AP to actually do the abilities, which is on the top left hand of the card, you can actually start the ability the turn before. So let's say the warrior right now has 2 abilities left. He's in combat, but he doesn't want to do a regular attack. So what he'll do is he'll basically put 2 markers on the card saying, hey, I'm using 2 abilities. I mean 2 ability points to this ability. Then in the next turn, you have to do this to finish off this ability. So you then would remove this. This would tick off, and now you have your other 2 abilities to go. So you can actually prepare for your next round of combat without actually having to wait your next turn before you can do a powerful move. So it gives that little functionality of planning ahead and strategy. So here we go on to the main game. So we're gonna start. I have the warrior. Where did I put the warrior piece? He starts inside the merchant. Now at the start of the game, you can immediately purchase from the store right over here and equip it without costing any AP. In the normal game, after you have left the starting tile, you have to, when you go back to the merchant, you have to spend 2 AP before you can actually buy anything, and then to equip it, it does cost 1 AP. So just keep in mind, you want to start off with something that's going to be good for you. So what I'm going to start off is purchasing a sword right here, because I know I'm going to get into combat. Combat happens all the time in this game because you don't know what's coming out. And to show you, you can equip it, combat, either on your left or right hand, right over here. So we're going to put it right there. For now, coming back to it, I spent 1 token to use it. Exactly, Nathaniel. It's all about, splitting the cost and getting it ready. Alright, so now I purchased a sword, and you know what? I'm going to next purchase a key. So the keys right here. The keys are not one-time uses. They can actually be used multiple times. The reason I'm purchasing a key, because again, I want treasure. Treasure's awesome. And we're doing a standard game here where we're going through the dungeon and trying to kill the boss, or it kills us. If we ever lose all of our HP, what happens is we become encumbered and the game is over. Alright, so I've done my purchase action. I've spent my second one. I've equipped my weapons, and now it's time for me to move. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose to go here. So you will then reveal the tile, and it's a 4. Well, if we look at our contents, we see a 4 is a treasure chest. So what we'll do is put the treasure chest in the room. We've moved over. We did reveal the room, so remember, we have to move the threat at the end of our movement. For my second action, because I have that key, I'm going to open it up, and you now draw a risk treasure card, and this is revealed, and this goes into my inventory. We have 2 money. This takes up 1 space onto it. If you want to read the contents below, if it's a gold that's between 1 and 4, it's 1 space. Between anything greater than 4 takes multiple spaces to carry. Now you have to turn this in to the merchant before you actually get the money. So right now it's just, this is gold that turns into 2 money. So we'll put it into our inventory. I've used 2 action points. I'll move back into the room, and because I can't go anywhere else, and that's the turn. So now we're going to go into the threat. So we did not run, so we didn't advance, but we did discover a room. So we advanced the threat up 1. So as we can see, we moved the threat up 1. Combat didn't happen, so we're all good. Jack, don't tell me what to do, Jack. I'm not going to buy the health because I'm going to come back for the health. Another thing that happens is after you've bought everything, this automatically fills up, and that's in the wrong stack. So these automatically fill. You can also, actually, I'm going to go back to the store real quick. You can also at any time request a certain item, which is another cool thing. So what you'll do is take this marker right here and say, hey, I want a shield. So you'll go throughout the deck right here, find the shield that you want. So I will say we wanted this shield. This would be put down, and this marker would be set on top of it. So this is a countdown marker that's basically saying, hey, I'm going to send a runner out to go and get this item for you. He'll be back in 3 turns. Then at the end of every turn, that will turn 1, then 2, and then the last turn you take it off. And now it's available to buy. So that's another thing you can do with the merchant, is you can request items. So if you know you need a pickaxe later on, you can request that. If you know you need a shield and you're not getting anything from the rewards, so you can actually have that chance to get, the items you need without waiting for it to randomly come out. So we're going to put that back to the side. Alright, so I'm going to move all these cards out of the way. I'm going to reshuffle that because I went through it. And we're going to be ready to just really get into this game right now. Alright, so that was turn 1. Turn 2, I'm going to say I'm going to move north. So we reveal a tile. We line up the arrow. It is 25. 25 is a pile of debris. We put the pile of debris in there. We're there, so that's 1 action point. Again, that will move the threat meter up 1. You know what? I'm going to be adventurous, and I'm going to go through it. So the pile of debris opens as my 2nd action point. And guess what? See, Jack? I told you I needed to buy health. The health potion came in, and this goes into my inventory. So, yay. As you can look over into my inventory, I now have 3 spots taken up. In the inventory, I only have 3 spots available left. So, we'll keep that in mind. Moving back to the board. Alright, so now I have 1 action point left. I have to... Yes, it was lucky. I have to move over to one of the sides because, again, I want to really discover this dungeon. And I move over. We have a 19 that comes out. You move in. 19 here is a body. So we put a body into the room. So we're moving along pretty easily right now. This is actually really uncommon for this game to go this smoothly. So end of my turn. Again, we move the thread up 2 because we've discovered 2 rooms. We've not used any actions that will actually raise us up as well. So now it's time for the 3rd action. Should I press my luck? I think I'm going to press my luck again and go through the pile of bones. And we have a reanimated body. We have combat going on now. So let's take that over to the detailed cam, and we'll now talk about combat. Alright, so combat happens. Let's put this, there we go, straighten it all out. Alright, so combat. How combat works in this game is you have your health versus their health. You have your hit chance versus theirs, which is right here. You'll see it's a 14. You'll see that their power is a 5 and his defense is a 6. Now, if you take a look beside this right here, you'll see a red and blue. That means he is susceptible to fire attacks and ice attacks. If you look at mine, I'm susceptible to fire and poison. And when you're susceptible to something, that means you take more damage from it. So, let me read the text. He's already dead. He regenerates all health if hero attacks 18-20. Okay, so I don't like that. Now, another thing you'll put out, you'll see a reward drop on here. You'll put a reward card face down next to the row. And there's, when you are doing combat and start at combat, they are in rows of 3. So if this row ever fills up, then another card would go right above it, right here. And then once that fills up, you'd fill it up even further. Again, I'm going to move this down a little bit more so you guys can see it. And for each line that you build up, you'll have another reward card that goes there. There are some cards like this one that tells you the exact number of drops that there will be. And this one says reward drop 1. Right? Yes, reward drop 1. Alright. So I now have, that was my first action. My second action is to attack. So to attack, remember I have to hit with my hit chance of 13. And he does not have any, what does he? Hold on. Yes, he is -3 to hit. So he's going to be a really hard guy to attack because my attack chance is 10 or lower. So it's basically I have a 50% chance to hit this guy. And if I ever roll 18 or 20, 18 through 20, he regenerates all of his life. Wow. I may have to run. But you know what? for sake of this game, I am not going to be safe, and I'm going to keep on pressing my luck, and I'm going to attack. So a normal attack is 1 action point. So I'm going to roll the dice. It was an 18, so I missed. And not only did I miss, if he would have had any health gone, he would have regenerated. That's not good. So now I'm going to roll again for my third ability, and it's a 15. Again, I missed, so I didn't hit him at all, and now my turn's over, and now they attack back. So his is 14 minus my AP. So he has an 11 or lower to hit me. So he has about the same chance. I don't have any shields that lower the hit chance, so we might be at a stalemate here. So he's going to roll his 1. He rolls a 5, and he actually hits me. So now let's talk about damage. So his power is 5. My defense is 5. So because we evened out at 0, I'm going to take a damage. Anytime the damage is between 0 and -1, it's 1 point of damage. Outside of that range, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or it's nothing. So 1 point of damage, that's not too bad, and that's the round. I did not reveal, but I did enter combat. So because I entered combat this round, this moves up 2 markers. So we're getting now closer to the boss coming out. Well, you know what? I'm going to do combat again. It's the next turn. I have all 3 of my abilities. And, I'm going to take a look at them this time to see if there's anything I can do. And honestly, right now, because we are pretty much tied on everything, there's nothing really I can do with abilities. So I'm going to try to attack him. Here's the first one. It's a 16. I miss. I'm going to take my second ability. It's a 3. I hit. Alright, so I finally hit him. And we're going to show, again, my power is 6. His defense is 6. So he's going to show 1 point of damage. So he has 1 out of 5 points. But because I hit, I do get an experience point. So anytime you hit with a normal attack, you actually get experience. When you hit with an ability, if the ability card says you get an experience, you get an experience. There's also rooms that you can train in to get experience. So there's a lot of ways that you can build experience, mainly through combat, but there are some that are outside of combat. Alright, so I have 1 more attack left. I'm going to press my luck, and I rolled a 6. So again, I do another damage to him. So now we're going to place that. He has 2. He has 4 life left. So now it's his turn. He rolls a 9. So he hits me. Oh, let me move that up. And again, it's 1 damage. And as you can see at this point, let me change the camera. So as you can see here, combat and your actions and discovering tiles happens really quickly. So this game flows very well, and you're not really bogged down by a lot of, oh my God, what do I do here? Because these are very given actions. They're actions that you think on the fly about. The only time this game ever really bogs down is when you are trying to stay away from the boss, and you're talking to each other about how best do we want to evade the boss because he's going to slaughter us. So let's get back into the game. All right, so well, okay, Jack brings up a point about Power Rage. It's a great ability, but here's the downside to Power Rage. We're going to pull up that card. So I don't like using Power Rage when I'm this low. Is for this ability to work, they also, let's see, yeah, all attacks against the 0. Yeah, so not only do I have a lot of power that happens with this, because you can see level 1 is +4 to my power, which would take him out. But if I miss, he has +3 to his roll. So instead of it being 11 plus, it goes back up to a 14, which now really gets him the chance to hit me at almost a 75% chance, which I don't like. But you know what? Because it's starting the new turn, I'm going to use Power Rage. That uses all 3 of my abilities. So on the next turn, no, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack once normally and then power it up. So we're going to do a normal attack first, which it's a 16, so I miss, but he doesn't regen. And then I'm going to use 2 here to power this up to get ready to be used on the next turn. Alright, so now he attacks, and it's a 3. I get hit, and there we go. Fun, yay! Alright, so now it's the next turn. I am in combat, so let's go over to this one. So again, I did continue on with combat. This does move up 2 more right there. So as you can see, we're being really noisy right now in this room. So the threat is going up because the boss is going, "What's going on here? There are some people making noise in my dungeon." Alright, so next turn, I use 1 ability to finish this off. So now on my attacks, we'll show this is the first round. If I hit, it's +4 to damage. So roll the first one, natural 20, he heals. Yeah, thanks, Jack. Oh, okay. Oh, see, there's things like that that are little nuances. Thank you, Jack, for that. Yeah, the way I've been playing it, which has been causing us to panic a lot, is anytime you start a new combat, you increase the threat. But as Jack just says, it's only when it's a new combat. So that's good to know. All right, so going back now, attacking again. It's a 7. I do hit him. So my power at this point is 6 plus 4 is 10. So he'll take 4 points of damage. So yay, 4 points of damage. This lasts for 1 more turn. He attacks back. Oh, this moves up. He attacks back, and he actually misses me because he is at a 14, and this is a 15. So I got very lucky there. All right, next turn, we're starting off with 3. We're going to show the marker to show that this is going on for the second event length. So I'm going to attack with my first one, and it's a 5, and he is dead. The animated body has died. Alright, so after, let's gain the experience. After a thing is fallen, this gets revealed. So this is on the floor right now of the dungeon. And that's actually a pretty good sword because it is a power 3 sword, and I feel like I wasted money by buying the other sword. So I'm going to use my last last action. We'll move this out of the way to pick up the sword. I can't equip it yet because I've only picked it up. So yes, Jack, you did tell me that was going to happen. All right. So going back to the board here, normally if you decide not to pick something up, what you would do is put a marker on the tile and on the card. This will show that this item is in this tile. You will also do this with monsters if you decide to flee, as well as other tiles that have items on it. So you kind of can keep track of where everything is. But because this is such an awesome sword, I use my last ability to pick it up, and then starting the next turn over here, we're going to equip it and replace this. Equip it with 1 action, and you know what? I'm going to drop this so this goes into the room. The reason I'm dropping it instead of taking it back to the merchant is because you can't sell money things back to the merchant. He won't take them. So because of that, that's fine. I'll just drop it right here. Who cares? I don't, because I got a better sword. Alright, moving on. So that was 2 actions. I have 1 action left. Let's reveal another room. We're going to go north now. Again, we're going to line up the blue. This is a 17. In a 17, we have another body. And that's the last of my actions. And now we'll move this up 1. Alright, next turn. I'm kind of scared now to press my luck because I don't want another animated body to come and attack me. Let's put this off to the side for now. So I'm going to ask you guys, should I press my luck? Should I open up this body and see if there's an item in there for me? Or is there a certain death for me? You tell me. I'm going to let you guys decide on that, and I'll give it a moment. And as you guys are deciding, we're going to now talk about enemies. So enemies, they have a pile of their own. Alright, so we have enemies have a pile of their own. When enemies are defeated, they go face up next to the deck, wherever you want to put them. They will also drop random loot. Bosses, on the other hand, they actually have a number of loot that's associated with the card that comes out. Alright, so you guys have answered, and you say, yes, press my luck. So I'm pressing my luck. Opening up the body, and as you search the body, you begin to feel very strange. Strength wells up inside you. The body has been blessed by some unknown being. So right now, because of this, and because of you guys, I have +2 power for 2 turns, which is actually kind of awesome. So we're going to put that marker there. For me, we'll put it, normally we put it next to your card. This would affect anybody who's in the room. So that's awesome, guys. You're right, Max. I did want to. Alright. So that was action 1. Action 2, we're moving over to a new room. Here we go. As again, we're following the arrows. It's a 16. Wow, we are uncovering a lot of bodies today. So we have the 16 right there. We're going to start moving things downward. So we'll keep everything in shot, because I can only move north here. And, you know, just like you guys said, let's open the body, the next body. And this one is, you find a letter with a king's seal on it. You open it. My jester has proven to be more than a fool. He has stolen my jasper orb, and I am sure the coward went to hide in the dungeon. Return it to me, and you shall be rewarded. King Farsworth. So, return to the star tile with the jasper orb. Draw 2 reward cards and gain 2 experience points. Alright. That is if we get the jasper orb and return it to him. So, awesome. We got a quest. So here's the other way where you get experience points. Is within these decks there are quests that you can do. So, yay. We got it. We got a new quest. We'll put this off to the side. Right here, knowing that we have to fulfill this quest now to get more experience. Alright, so that was open, reveal, open. This now moves down another one for the turn. And now we continue forward. So we're pressing our luck. Might as well go back north. It's a 5. Oh, we have another treasure chest that comes in for our first action point. So the next action point, we might as well open it because we're here. And we have more gold. We have 4 more gold. And we're getting real close to our limit. We're now at a limit of 4 within our hand because we did drop the sword. So it might be time to start heading back to the merchant and see if there's more things that we can purchase, because a rope would be nice, you know, the pickaxe would be nice, more health, as Jack said, would be nice. So those are all possibilities. Let's see, that was enter. We opened. Let's keep on pushing our luck. Going to the next tile. Tile 24 for our last action. And 24 is a pile of debris right there. So the lucky thing that we have gone through, we have not drawn mist, because mist they suck. All right, so we've gone through 2 rooms. Threat moves up 2 more times. We're 3 now away from the threat meter popping and the monsters starting to come out, and we still haven't even leveled up yet. So here we go, new turn. We are now going through the pile of debris. Pile of debris gives us, oh no! As you clear away the debris, you uncover a hole. The more you work, the larger it becomes. You hear talking coming from the hole, and you have uncovered a hideout. Draw 2 times H, which is heroes, enemies. So at this point, this is how enemies start coming out, is wrist tiles like this. So we'll draw 2 enemies, and we'll put it on top of our guy right here. And not only that, we are going to put a reward right there. So we have a reward. We have our whatchamacallit, our monsters out, and I have 1 action left, I believe. And so what we might as well do is just let's attack. We have a power of 8. They have a defense of 3. Like this one has a life of 3. This one has life of 4. And what he does, strength in numbers, +1 power for every skeleton in the room. So he is the one to take out first. So we're gonna wipe him out. So with the last one, he does -1 to our hit chance. So we're at a hit chance of 12. We rolled a 2. So we hit him, we get the experience, and we hit him for, let's see, he's defense 4, our power is 5, 6, 7, 8, so we do 4 points of damage, he dies. He's automatically dead. Like, that's how strong we are right now. And so now they attack. He has a hit chance of 15. So he's going to roll. He rolls a 10. He does damage to us. So we will take 1 damage because our defense is at 1. Alright, new turn. Might as well finish this combat. Oh, real quick. We did start a new combat. This goes up by 2. We only have 1 left before the threat meter pops and the boss starts coming out. So here we go. So we're going to roll to 7. We do damage. We kill him. Yay, he's dead. What's the song? Ding dong, the witch is dead, the witch is dead. From The Wizard of Oz. Alright, so we have this revealed, and we got some armor. So that is awesome. It's fire armor, actually, which gives us the defense of 2 and protects us from fire damage, which we are susceptible for. So we're going to pick it up and equip it with our last 2 actions. So this now gives us, let's raise this a little bit, put it right there, put this down below. So this now, our defense is 7. So that's awesome, and we do get an experience point for that last hit and kill. You're right. Jack is right. I missed that. Jack. Oh yes. Okay. So this is the only issue I've ever encountered with this game, and it's only because of the prototype. It's fixed already, but can you see that number? It's right there. It's level 3. So I actually do not have a sword. We have to go back to combat. So he is right. He is right on that. So let's go back to that one. And he's actually not dead, so he gets to hit 2. So the power was 5 to 4, so it's 1 damage is all he has. So let's go back to combat right now. Sorry guys, I'm actually way across the board here. So we're going to go back to combat on this one. So he actually gets to attack. What we'll do is, actually, since we hit him, because he was not technically hit, I'm going to do it this way, technically a hit. We're going to do his attack. He has a 13. He actually does hit me, so he does another damage right there, and I'm about to be weakened. This is not good. So, all right. So that was that. We went backwards here because there was things done incorrectly. Thank you, Jack, for pointing out about that sword. So I technically just have it in my inventory right now. I don't have this, so this is off right there. All right, so we're going to go to the new turn. Might as well keep on attacking him. And actually, he has an additional power, which it's still 1, so we're good. All right. So 6, 9 to hit him, which is a 12. So we're good there. We hit him for 4, 5. So it's 1 damage because I did drop my sword. This is not good. We're going to attack again. 17, I miss. And last roll is a 7 right here. So I hit again. So he takes 2. And now it's their turn. He, let's see, that is 16 minus 3 is he hits. So I will take a point of damage. And now I'm getting weakened. All right. So I don't have weakened memorized. I'm going to have to pull up the rule book real quick. And it's about time to run. Coming up once I get hit. So, weakened. Real quick. It's in the back of this book. Okay, everything is reduced by half. So now my power is 2, my defense is 2, and my AP is 1. I'm really going to have to retreat at this point. But the other attack happens. And I just realized we're not on this. So he now attacks. He actually hits me. So my defense is 2. His attack is 5, 6. Minus 2, which is 4. I have 1 health left. So as you can see, the tables have turned quite rapidly in this game. And this does happen, but this was purely my mistake, not realizing that was a level 3 sword at the time because I didn't see the marker. But again, that does happen. But with the new iconography, it's actually a lot clearer. And you're also not going to be looking across the table like I am right here. So we're going to have to run and also use an AP for health, but it's one or the other because we only have 1 AP at this moment. So hold on, let's go back to here. Yeah, Jack, I did realize that at the time that you guys couldn't see it. So what's going to happen here is I can't retreat because the moment I retreat, the strongest one gets a chance to attack me. So I'm going to have to use a health potion with my 1, which, again, Jack did warn me to make sure to buy the other one. So I'm going to use an ability to, my 1 ability point to use that, which goes up by 5. So I'm no longer weakened, but I don't have any more health after that. All right, so back to the game. Here we go. It's their turn. We're first going to go with this guy. He has a 16 minus 3 because everything returned back to normal. I'm no longer weakened. And here we go. Rolls a 10. I take a hit. Defense is 5. His power is 6 actually. So I'll take a point of damage. I'm back into my weakened state, but it's livable now at this point. As long as he doesn't hit me, which his is 15 minus 1, so it's a 14, and he misses, which is just what I needed. So I'm going to retreat at this moment because, yes, exactly, Jack. It was please miss, please miss. All right, so now I'm going to retreat or escape. Actually, here's a question, and maybe, Jack, you can answer this for me. So I have this question here. I'm in a weakened state. Can I still retreat with only 1 AP? Because this is something that we argued about in our group, was the fact that you should be able to. So, Jack, I want you to answer that question while I go back to the table. So, gonna have to roll to see if we successfully retreat. I wish I had everything written down. All right, so yes. All right, even though I only am weak and I only have 1 point, I can retreat. And I am attacked by the highest one, which is him. He is technically the highest one. So he will still hit me, and he will hit me for 5 minus 2, which is 3. 1, 2, 3. But moving over to the table, I move away. That was nerve-wracking, and that's what this game is. You can choose to press your luck, but when you do, you run into issues like that, where you basically all of a sudden just take a lot of damage. And now I realize I'm going to have to rest and then go back to my sword, which is 19 over here. So I have to go and get my sword again, and then I need to go to the merchant to buy more health potions. So we're going to rest to see how much health we get back. Alright, I got to pull up this real quick, just what the exact roll is, so I don't make another mistake like I just did. Rest is on page 48, which is right in my hand. All right, so here's the rest ability. It takes all your AP, and I'm going to read it to you guys verbatim so you know exactly what it is. If heroes have full AP at the beginning of their turn and no enemies are present at the same time, they can choose to rest until they perform any action. Resting heroes cannot be in combat, and resting requires them to consume all their HP. Resting heroes may heal or restore lost health. A hero's health may not exceed the health listed. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we are now going to calculate to see what we need to roll. So our health right now, going to this here, we're going to move these out of the way for now, and this is at 2. So when we roll, we're going to roll 20 minus 2, so we have to get 18, and then we'll recover 6 points of health. So let's hope for under an 18, and we get a 4. Perfect. So 6 points of health brings us up to 8. So we're now back at full HP. We're no longer in a weakened state. Alright, so we're no longer in a weakened state. We're back to the table. It's the next turn. Nothing has moved. We need to put markers down. So we're going to put D in this room. And we're going to put D over here. And our monsters. So we know the monsters are in this room. In this room right here. We fled into the new room. I'm into this room. So what we're going to do now is we are going to get those health points because we still have 1 money left and we have a lot of money we can trade in. So we're going to move 1, 2, and 3. We did not cause any combat to happen. We did not reveal a new room. So now we're going to do 1, 2, and pass for that next one. And now it's the new turn and we have 2 ability points that we used for the merchant. So we're using the merchant. We are selling this right here, which gives us 4. And we're turning in this one that gives us 2. So we have a total of 6 money that we acquire. So we got our 6 money right there. And now we're going to purchase these 2 health for 2. This one and this one. I can't purchase. Can't see these new ones until they're done. You know, I have 4 left. I'm gonna buy this armor because we need more defense. This one doesn't have a level for 1, and I still need to go pick up my sword, which is over here. The other thing we're going to purchase is sandals right there. So the good thing about sandals is the sandals of silence, is you would draw 1 less event card, boss card after your turn. So with this one, you draw a D20. If you get a 1 to 10, you'll draw 1 less card. If you draw roll more than that, it doesn't change. So we've done that. And we're done with him. And what we're going to do now is use our last action to equip everything. So we're going to go here. We're going to equip that. These are in our inventory right there. And we are good to go. Back to the table. The stress of this game, I'm not kidding, is so much. So we're going to go here to here. We're going to pick up the sword that we dropped a while ago. So that is our turn. Starting new turn. We now equip the sword. So we have 2 HP left. 2 AP left right there. So those are equipped. I'm going to use an AP to use that to get 5 more life. And we're back to full health. All right. You guys ready for us to begin? Continue on? here we go. We are now back. We have 1 AP left, and we're going to start moving back up. You know, I want revenge on those guys because they're a-holes. And I want to be prepped for them this time. So, 1, 2. I'm not going to run in right now because I only have 1 AP left. So I'm going to pass. And then I'm going to start off with full AP. Come into here. I am beginning a combat, so the threat meter will spot off again because we are entering combat. We're beginning a new one on this time. So we're going to go back to here. Lower this again. This goes to 13. All right, 1. And let's bring these a-holes back down. So now I want my revenge here, and we're going to attack. So we're gonna, with our first one, going to attack him, and we rolled a 16, so we missed. But we're gonna try it again with our last one, which is a 6. We hit. Our power now is a 6, and he takes 2 more damage, so he dies. He is dead. Ding dong, finally mother effing dead. Alright, we're good there. He will now attack me. He doesn't have that +1 power anymore. So we're going to use this. He does hit me though for 1 damage. Actually, he's at 5. My defense is at 6. Yeah, so 1 damage. Wait, let's make sure to do the experience points for the hit. But he does hit me for 2 damage because I'm susceptible to poison. And now it's the next turn. First AP. I roll a 1. He is dead. So he is now gone. This will give me another experience point. We'll then reveal this one. And now, as you can see, this one doesn't have a limit. I'm going to pick it up and equip it with my last 2 actions. And one thing I need to go back to do for you guys. So we're going to go back real quick. So the combat did move that up. So the threat meter is now gone. So that is off. We're going to move this, everything down. And now new threats of how the boss cards are revealed are now shown. So the new way the cards are now revealed are, if you see the corner here, you will draw an event anytime these things happen. So now it's combat, move, or run. So anytime I move now, we're going to be drawing a boss card. So the boss cards are like I showed you before. So they are going to be, these cards here are going to be drawn anytime I move, anytime I go to combat, excuse me, and anytime I run. So, let's see, that was all of my turns. And now the new actions begins. I have almost leveled up to level 2. God, I've never taken this long to level up. Alright, so you might as well reveal a new room. So here we go. Go to a new room. We did move, so that is one boss card that we do draw later on in the game. And I'm sorry, I'm moving everything over here. I have a tablecloth that is all over the place. Alright, so let's move everything down for you guys. So in a level 3, we have another chest. Let's move this here. There we go. You can see everything again. Alright, so we're going to spend our second action point to open the chest with our key. We're going to reveal it's another 4 money, which is awesome. We're taking a look How many items do we have? We have 3 items, 4 items, so we're not at our carry limit yet. So that's great. All right. So let's continue on. We're pressing our luck some more. Might as well, with our last one for this turn, move again, reveal a new room. And this is a 23. And a 23 is a pile of debris. So now I'm ready to show you guys the newest thing. So now boss events. I moved twice. So because of that, we draw our first boss event. So room 18 is not on the table. So this boss event, nothing happens. The second one is 25. Well, guess what, guys? We do have a 25 right here. So we will reveal the boss, which is the Demon Lord. And here you go. The Demon Lord pops up. And as you can see here, all enemies have plus to their power. He also has a hit power of 14 and a defense of 13. His also to hit is 18, 1 to 18. So he will pop right there in room 1. So he is between me and the exit at this point. I'm going to cut to this. All right, as Jack said, he is right. It's 1 per action for this one of how it works. But because it's already revealed, we're going to keep on going how it is. But if it's you enter combat, it's 1. If you enter combat during the same turn, it's still 1. You move, again, it's only 1. You run, again, it's 1. So it's possible of 3 actions unless you do an ability. But like I said, it's already revealed. We're trying to kind of move ahead on this because this game can take a while to play. But we're trying to just go through the game and to get things moving forward. So we're going to show you, again, he is moved. So at this point, we are going to go through the pile of bones. The pile of debris. With our first action point, it's another key. And we are going to move again. This time we're going to move south to there, number 9. Number 9 is the floor is covered in mist. Now this is a card we haven't drawn yet. So the floor is covered in mist is basically, these are events that are always going to be bad for the most case. With this one, we're just going to say what happens immediately is you enter the mist and it flows all around you. You hear a loud noise behind you. You turn to see enemies forming behind you. So the mist cards are typically always going to be like this. They're going to be bad cards that you're not going to want to face. So we're going to draw 2 enemies. So we'll draw 2. We'll put them up onto this tile over here. I know everything's starting to get messy, as you can see right there. All right. So we have our 2 enemies. We have a grizzly bear that is insane, as well as we have a skeleton fire mage right here. So we have 1 action left. Might as well attack the grizzly bear because a lot of things are about to happen. So we'll just move this here. We'll attack the bear going on because his power is 7. So to hit him, it's a -1, and for him to hit us, it is 18 minus our AP. So we're going to hit him with a 9. So we do hit. So we get our experience. We hit him with 5, 6. He has a defense of 5, so he does take 1 point of damage right there. So we're going to go in order, and again, we always make sure to draw a reward. he's going to attack. He's at 18 minus 3, so he is at a 15. And here we go. So he did hit us. We're at defense 7, but he does do poison, so we'll take 2 points of damage right there. And now we'll have the skeleton hit. He rolled a 15, and his hit was 17, and he missed. So now let's go back to the table. So here we moved as well as we entered combat. But if you remember correctly, I picked up the sandals, which can reduce it by 1. So we're going to do this roll first. So we're going to do the roll, and it's a 4, so we do draw 1 less boss card during this turn. So the boss event, now we look at the bottom section of this card. So before the boss is drawn, you go through the top. And then after the boss is drawn, you move to whatever is in the bottom. So now he's going to move 1 closer to noise 2. Well, there is no noise 2, so it's then going to be the noisiest, which is the warrior. So he's going to the closest route, and right now the closest route is this way right here. So he's going to move 1. All right, now back to combat. Back over here. So we're back at combat now. It's my turn again, and just like before, we're going to do Power Rage. We're actually going to save Power Rage for the last 2 ability points, but we're going to attack the first time against him. Rolled a 19, so we missed. So now we're going to power up Power Rage. Let me grab the card. There we go. So Power Rage, we're powering up right there. So it's going to tick off the next turn. We're going to start off with him hitting us. Yes, he hits us for 2. We're almost weakened. He's going to attack. It's at 19, so he misses again. So now it's our turn. We're still in the same combat. So we will then draw an event. So we did do another combat, so we have another event. It gets drawn, and he starts moving closer to us. So we have now a timer going that is he's getting closer to us, and we need to start moving. Going back over. We are now have Power Rage that ticks off. So that's this one. So we have 4 damage now, additional to what we have before. So we roll, we have a 6. So we have 4, 5, so we have 10. So 10 to his 5, he takes all the damage and he dies. Now that he's dead, we have 1 more action point. Might as well do the attack because the boss is coming closer to us and we don't want to do another round of combat. We don't want to do another round of combat while the boss is now out. So we're going to roll again, and we are going to hit with a 10. So we will kill him as well. And this is a skill armor. So we did do 2 hits. So we do now immediately level up. And this is the next section I wanted to get to before we end this live stream. So now we're leveling up, and with leveling up, that happens instantaneously, which means the moment you hit that point, these actions will happen. So going back to here, you immediately move that up. Your health immediately moves up to its highest point, and your your experience goes all the way back down to 0. You also now get the next level card ability. So with the next level ability, this adds into our stack right here. Goes into our hand. So now we have 5 viable abilities that we can use for this game. And then after you level up, each time you do that, you'll get a new ability. Your health will go up, and now new armor opens up for you, like that sword that I misequipped earlier in the game, which does, like I said, it does happen. You know, just like in D&D and other games where, you know, there's a level markers. You just have to make sure to read the entire card. Don't make the mistakes I have. So this is Dungeons of Infinity, and then you would continue on the game, playing throughout it until the scenario. Let me pull up this cam. Until the scenario is done. Like this scenario is bring the boss's head to the merchant, basically to exit with it, or until the boss kills me, or I become exhausted. There are other scenarios in this game as well. So there are cooperative, there's competitive ones. So you have the cooperative game, which is where you and your buddies are trying to go throughout the stories that are in here, as well as you have little mini scenarios. Then you also have competitive ones, like there's one called Coin Quest, where you're trying to get 12 coins and bring it back to the base. There's also the orb, excuse me, the orb quest, where you're trying to get the orb and bring it back to the base. There's also, excuse me, bringing the boss's head to the end of the game. So if you guys have any questions, make sure to talk to Jack. He'll be more than happy to help you. If you have any more questions about this game here, I'll be happy to answer any comments into the question. So you guys, if you like what you saw, make sure to check this game out on Kickstarter right now. It is going to be going on for another, I think, 20 days or so. Jack, if you want to answer that question. And I will see you guys tomorrow when we have Aeon's End. And you guys have a great night. I'm going to finish up this game.